We are gathered, you guys can be seated. We are gathered here under the stars in the House of Flowers on the final night of 2019 to witness the beautiful union of Carlos and Nigel. In just a moment, they will recite vows to each other. What you are about to witness is a promise, a covenant that they will make to each other before their closest friends and family. It is this union where two people become one. It is powerful and should not be taken lightly. On behalf of Carlos and Nigel, I want to thank you for being here tonight, but also for being a part of their lives, for pushing, for challenging, for loving and shaping them into the men they are today, men that found a perfect love in one another. I'd also like to remember those that are not here with us tonight, but recognize that their presence is felt. Now let's do this. I'm gonna take you back to the 2013 CrossFit Games. Carlos was there to watch Anna compete, and I was there to sell underwear. We spent a lot of time together those few days. I remember lying in bed one night with Carlos, and he said to me, "I love him." The next day, after I shut down the underwear stand and we were sitting in the tennis stadium waiting for Anna to compete, he said it again, "I just love him." The line persisted day in and day out. The focus of our conversations shifted from how disappointed Brad would be at our performance in the workout that morning to the Silver Fox. Now, we can question Carlos's consistency as a CrossFitter as he wavers between an aspiring Masters game athlete to identifying as a casual CrossFitter. We can also question his consistency as a non-smoker, as he has quit smoking and started back again at least 17 times since I've known him. But one thing we can never question is his love for Nigel. He has consistently and persistently loved Nigel since day one. Over time, Hillary's I'm With Her campaign lost momentum, but Carlos's I'm With the Silver Fox campaign strengthened and endured. Nigel, you've learned that we keep our circle small. It's something you know very well. What you may not know is before I met you, I didn't like you. You should not take this personal because I don't like anyone at first. And in fact, there are very few that I ever end up liking. You see, I worked out with Carlos at 6:30 a.m. Monday through Friday for years. And all of a sudden, he started no-showing at least 1 to 2 days a week. I knew Rafi wasn't to blame because Carlos would have just had a cigarette post-WOD if work was stressing him out. So I called his ass out. And his response was, "I'm working out with Nigel now pretty regularly." Now, I'll be damned if Carlos is gonna drop his free $99 lifetime membership to Body and Soul just so he can go work out with Nigel at some new place. And then Nigel, Body and Soul's newest member, showed up at the gym with Carlos one day. This was the first time I met him. I'm fairly confident he ran his hands through his hair, held out his hand, and pulled me in for a big hug. And it all of a sudden made sense. Working out did not equate to a new gym. Nigel, we fell in love with you, and just as fast as Carlos did. Not only are you every bit a silver fox, but you have a heart of gold. You have a genuine interest in everyone's life. You make us laugh. And you always make sure we know how loved we are. Most importantly, you bring out the best in Carlos every single day. You are one of us. You are not only gaining a life partner today, but you are gaining forever friends. Friends that will always be down to jump on the trampoline with you, dance with you until we sweat through our shirts, and be there whenever you need us. We love you. Now, before we move to the vows, I'd like to leave you with some marriage advice. And just as I did in Diana and Eric's wedding, I must give the disclaimer that you have asked someone to officiate your ceremony that has never been married, let alone brought a +1 to a wedding. And that was not because I was trying to save the couple money on a dinner plate. So instead of the advice coming only from my heart, I sought inspiration from the people, places, and things that mean the most to you. The first piece of advice I'll leave you to is inspired from advice Carlos actually gave to his best woman. You were videotaping Anna doing muscle-ups. She successfully completed her first one, but failed her second. You can be heard in the video saying, lack of commitment. How important, she's the one that told me. How important this is in marriage, not only to be committed to the first year, but every year thereafter. Carlos and Nigel, I challenge you to maintain the same level of commitment to each other's happiness in year 1, year 2, year 3, and year 53. Next, Rosie, Nigel's best woman, shared with me a beautiful perspective of Nigel and Carlos's relationship over the years. It was a story of comfort levels and vulnerability. It was a story of how the right person can change your perspective on marriage. It was a story how pure, genuine love can make stepping out of your comfort zone feel like home. A home where you can express yourself freely and be the truest form of you. Carlos and Nigel, find comfort in each other always, but never get comfortable. Push the boundaries of each other's comfort zones, but never make the other person cross the boundary alone. Move through life together as one, through the peaks and the valleys. Now, finding the perfect piece of advice that was inspired by Mickey was difficult for so many reasons. One being that, with the exception of sharing a few heat videos, Mickey only posted 2 statuses and responded to 1 comment since joining Facebook in 2009, because I checked every single one. So I reached out to George for help, and he shared with me some wonderful stories that I'll be happy to tell you after cocktail hour. I reviewed every lyric of Crystal Castle's set list from Coachella 2009, a trip Mickey and Carlos took together, and I assure you all, Crystal Castle's lyrics provide no inspiration. Then I reached out to Scott for help. It was in his response that I got inspiration. He said, even though I knew Mickey, their friendship was special. They knew each other like the back of each other's hands. Carlos and Nigel never stopped being each other's best friend. Today, you take on the title of husband, but a solid friendship must always remain at the core. A friendship so deep that you know each other's thoughts without a word ever spoken. I think Mickey would say that friendship requires more listening than talking, being each other's biggest fans, calming each other's biggest fears, and having tons of fun together. The next piece of advice is inspired by an African proverb. It reads, when the rhythm of the music changes, the dance step must change also. Carlos and Nigel, the rhythm of your relationship will evolve over the years as you go through different seasons of life. Do not fall out of step. Rather, tune into each other's individual needs and wants as they too will change. Never let the noise from the crazy world we live in overpower the rhythm created by 2 hearts beating as one. In 2012, Hillary Clinton was quoted in Marie Claire, "You have just one life to live. It is yours. Own it, claim it, live it, do your best you can with it." Carlos and Nigel, you have just one life to live together. Own it. Own your mistakes, apologize often, forgive quickly. Claim it. Claim that ass. That ass is yours.
Hell yeah.
Don't ever make the other person, focus. Don't ever make the other person question your faithfulness. Let the world know you married a babe and honor each other daily. Live it. Live in the moment because forever is comprised of the nows. And do the best you can with it. I challenge each of you to be the best you can be for one another. Marriage is not only finding the right partner, but being the best you can be for the right partner. Finally, I leave you with this. Choose love every single day. Unwavering, unapologetic, unconditional love. Over all other virtues, compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience, put on love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony. Now, are you ready to make this promise to each other? I now charge you both, as you stand in the presence of the people that you love the most, to remember that love and faithful observance of your marriage vows are required as the foundation of a successful marriage and the establishment of a happy and enduring home. Without these, there can be no real marriage, and the home which you endeavor to establish will be a vain and fruitless effort. Keep the solemn vows you are about to make. Choose to love each other daily, live in tender consideration of one another. Conduct your lives in honesty and in truth. Your marriage bond will be a blessing to you and will be a blessing to others. This should be remembered as you now declare your desire to be wed. Nigel, do you take Carlos to be your wedded husband? And do you solemnly promise before your closest friends and family as witnesses that you will love him, comfort him, honor and keep him, forsaking all other for him alone? And will you perform unto him all the duties that a husband owes to his other half, until death shall separate you? If so, answer, I do. Carlos, do you take Nigel to be your wedded husband? And do you solemnly promise before your closest friends and family as witnesses that you will love him, comfort him, honor and keep him, forsaking all others for him alone? And will you perform unto him all the duties that a husband owes to his other half, until death shall separate you? If so, answer, I do. Since it is your expressed desire to wed, I now ask you join your right hands and share the vows you have prepared for each other.
We're old.
But I also did it in size 60.
Babe. Babe. I vow to always love you. I vow to never bore you. I vow to be your #1 fan. But I'm sorry, babe. I vow to keep making Instagram stories about you. Because I think everyone should be privy to the joy I find in you. I've never been happier, and I vow to work every day to fill your life with joy and happiness.
It's taken a while, but I found the one. That's you. You're the one that's made it easy for me to make this jump, to say I'm yours, and you are mine. We are in this together forever. Keep the Instagram PG rated. I love you so much.
Now, as I'm handed the rings, I'd like to share with everyone a fun fact. The ring finger is actually the only finger that has a vein that goes directly to the heart. Did you know it? As a token of this covenant, your wedding rings are a symbol of commitment and unconditional love. These rings are an unbroken circle symbolizing eternity. They represent what has been and what will always be. They are made of solid, sturdy material, which is meant to survive years and years of hand-holding, hair cutting, flower arranging, wine bottle uncorking, pull-ups, house cleaning, and unapproved videos of Nigel on Instagram. Couples wear these wedding rings every day as a symbol of their love. Nigel, you will now place this ring on the third finger of your groom's left hand and repeat after me. Okay, left hand, third finger, ring finger. All right, here we go. Now repeat after me, Nigel. I give you this ring as a symbol of my promises.
I give you this ring as a
Symbol. My faith and our strength together.
my faith and our strength together.
My covenant to learn and grow with you.
My covenant to learn and grow with you.
And unconditional love.
And unconditional love.
With this ring,
With this ring,
I be wed.
I be wed
With all that I have and all that I am.
with all that I have and all that I am,
In sickness and in health.
in sickness and in health,
In poverty and wealth.
in poverty and wealth,
Till death does us part.
till death does part.
Carlos, you will now place the ring on the third finger of your groom's left hand and repeat after me.
I give you this ring as a symbol of my promises.
My faith and our strength together.
My faith and our strength together.
My covenant to learn and grow with you.
My covenant to learn and grow with you.
And unconditional love.
And unconditional love.
With this ring,
With this ring,
I be wed.
I thee wed.
With all that I have
With all that I have,
and all that I am.
all that I am.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health,
In poverty and wealth.
in poverty and wealth,
Till death do us.
till death do us part.
For as much as Carlos and Nigel have consented together to enter the rite of marriage and have given and received a ring in token and pledge of their love to and faith in each other, and have declared the same by joining of their right hands, I declare, by the authority committed unto me, according to the law of the state, that you are now husband and husband. Carlos, Nigel, you may kiss your husband. Friends and family, for the first time, may I present to you Carlos and Nigel, the happily married couple.
Miriam Martinez.